Hello, welcome to the Dollhouse. I am the doll, and today I'm going to be talking about Young Miami, also known as Careesha Brownlee, from the hip hop duo City Girls. She is in the news right now for ignoring three very big, wide red flags to be Diddy's sugar baby. She was so blinded by the money that she paid no attention to these red flags. And now she's in the news for helping him harass an alleged victim of SA. So I read the news article, and there is a woman who is suing him. She is being known as Jane Doe, since she is a victim. She's suing him for sexual coercion. And she said that during the course of their relationship, she got pregnant, and she was being pressured by him in his camp to have an abortion. She said that Careesha called her numerous times and coerced her and threatened her to try and make her have an abortion. So I don't know if this is going to land Careesha in hot water. It pretty much has landed her in hot water in the court of public opinion. But honey, I don't know if this is going to result in her actually having to go to court or not. But even if she never suffers any legal fallout, the reputational damage and the financial fallout from that damage will definitely have some serious effects on her life. And as you know, the dolls, we here, are fans of the 48 Laws of Power. And Careesha has failed to guard her reputation. That is one lesson for the dolls. Law number 5 from the 48 Laws of Power. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. So much depends on reputation. Like the future of her children, her career, is looking pretty dim and grim. Not because she isn't talented or beautiful, but because she's involved herself with this man who, probably presented her with a lot of fabulous gifts and money. And really, it seemed like the ultimate flex for her city girl's image and lifestyle to be involved with a billionaire mogul, Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puffy, in this no strings attached style relationship. She was being publicly showered by him with gifts and being flaunted on red carpet. So it seemed like she was really living the life, that city girl's life. But as we can see, there was a major price to be paid for all that fame, all those gifts, all that money. She made a very real deal with the devil. And her thirst for that fast life, it really has her in crash mode right now. The life that Diddy promoted in his music and his shows has him in crash mode right now. This is the life that she promoted in her music and shows. That lifestyle could never be real. It was always for entertainment purposes only. All of the carelessness, consumerism, all of that was fictitious and fruitless. And part of an overall government ploy. I'm not even going to get into what Candace Owens is educated me to, but, a government ploy to keep prisons filled and use people like Diddy and other people to promote these degenerate ways of life and give people a soundtrack for doing the deeds that are necessary to get put behind bars. Yeah, consumerism, consequence-free sex, manipulation, all of that is not sustainable over the long run. It destroys legacies and lineages. And that's what's happening for these two. This hip-hop bad boy and city girl lifestyle is not made for longevity and will always erode a person's mental health. Being involved with the wrong man has put Careesha at risk in ways that I hope the dolls never expose themselves to. There are so many red flags that she overlooked that would have warned her that she was putting herself at risk in the very worst ways. There are 3 risks that are not worth any man: your health, your safety, and your freedom. Never let a man put your health at risk. Never let a man put your safety at risk. And never let a man put your freedom at risk. It had to be enticing for her to be recognized by someone so well respected in pop culture. And she said that while they were together, she was just celebrating him with the world. In the news article that I read in the Daily Mail, she said, and I quote, "I met him," talking about Diddy. She said, "I met him while he was in another era. I met Diddy when the world was celebrating him and giving him his flowers when he was alive." She then asked, "Why am I being crucified? Or why am I being separated?" Why? Well, she's basically being separated because she was one of his goons. She was a sugar baby / sex worker who he employed to have fun with, flaunt around town, and help him to facilitate a criminal network. I don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes with him, but it seemed like everything he's touched is turning to ash. According to the article from Daily Mail, she knew about his sexual escapades that occurred outside of their relationship. She knew about relationships that he had with other women. She used to even have public Twitter arguments with one of the women who he kept on standby, one of the many women in his harem. And her being named in this lawsuit and being implicated as someone who was trying to harass someone and influence someone to kill their unborn child. Really, that's what it boils down to. It's not a good look, and she was really one of his biggest cheerleaders. Y'all remember when she was at that award show holding that big old sign up that said something Diddy, whatever. She put herself at risk for a lifestyle, for fame, and maybe because she did feel some kind of love for him. They had some special romantic relationship. I don't think she was in love with him. It wasn't love. You can just tell for both of them, it was opportunity. I do believe that they probably had sex and they had some kind of romantic relationship. But as we can see, he did not love her because he put her at risk in so many ways. And that's what I want the dolls to know. A man that puts you at risk like this does not love you. She was not so deluded that she fell in love with him. I really hope that she wasn't that delusional. But I can see how she might fall in love with the power, the fame, the money, the creature comforts, and the lifestyle that she'd been living, as a young hip hop artist, and that he helped her to continue even when those records weren't selling. I would never advise the dolls to involve themselves with a man who would push you, to allow you, or even ask you to do something illegal. Like if he asks you to check his mail, you need to check him because that's a federal offense. Like don't put yourself at risk at all. Don't do it. Let alone harass another woman to try and get her to get an abortion from your boyfriend. Like, look at her now. She could possibly be sued or locked up because of her involvement with this guy. And you know what? Let the record show that the jails are just stuffed full of women who've lost their freedom because of their involvement with some dusty man. Dusty Diddy. Because, baby, he is a dusty. Don't let that be you. The second way that Careesha put herself at risk is by allowing Diddy to compromise her health. Yes, she compromised her freedom and also her health. Really, if you look at Diddy, he looks like a walking petri dish. Yeah, well dressed, looks like he probably goes to the spa, but he looks dingy. All of those sexual escapades, all that exposure to different fluids And I'm not talking about the IV fluids, but all those fluids and all that extra, whatever is coming out of people, it's a danger in this day and age. And it's been a danger throughout history. You know, HIV is still out here lingering. And there's also stuff like herpes, which there is no cure for. There is nothing you can do about it. And then there's other things like syphilis. There's even BV. Who wants BV? Even though BV isn't necessarily always contracted sexually, who wants to be walking around smelling like Captain D's because your boyfriend is out here slinging his Captain D? It's just not worth it. No. Your sexual health is precious, dolls. And once it's gone, it can be gone for good. You can lose your whole life behind this. You put your lineage at risk behind this. Being careless with your sexual health is not worth it. And don't let a man be careless with your sexual health. The way he was running through women and allegedly also men, you know there has to be some itching going on. Not worth it. I don't recommend having sex with a man until after marriage if you're a virgin, and then wait till engagement if you are if you're not married, if you're not a virgin. That's what I did, okay? Wait until engagement. Okay? Don't have unprotected sex until after all the health screenings have been completed. Her spirit guides were somewhere yelling, "Careesha, please!" like her podcast. "Careesha, please don't do it, girl." He's burning. They were trying to tell her that. But she probably could not hear them because she had one of those money phones held up to her ears. No matter how big that stack of money is, you can't use it to restore your health. Okay? Once some of those diseases take hold, there's no medicine that money can buy that will help you through it. So just don't do it, dolls. The third way that Careesha was at risk was physically. Not just health-wise, but she was in danger of getting knocked off her butt. You know, he employed her to intimidate others. So you know that she was well aware of his modus operandi. She knew that if she stepped out of line, those same intimidation tactics would be used on her. She was a willing participant in threatening violence. And in my opinion, Diddy had probably snapped on her before, just so that she knew what he was capable of, especially as she became more aware of his secrets. You know, we all saw the way he tossed Cassie around the hallway of a hotel like a rag doll. And it really seemed like something that he enjoyed doing, did often, and had not stopped, can't stop, won't stop. You know, if a man threatens to put his hands on you, let alone actually does it, cut him off immediately. If he threatens, if he says, if he pushes up on you, if he gets too loud, baby, cut him off. Throw him in the trash. Put him in the recycle bin. Toss him out to the streets. No matter how modern day superhero movies try to convince us that 120-pound heroin can beat up a room full of bad guys, you probably can't beat up the average man. So, doll, don't even try, okay? The moment that your physical well-being is at risk, run, and fast. So, the city girls are down and out. The game is officially over. And really, nobody wins. Nobody wins from this. It's a draw. In this scenario, there are no winners. But there are lessons to be learned. There are lessons for the dolls. And the lesson is this: if a man puts you at risk of having to see a doctor, a judge, or the inside of an emergency room, get up out of the relationship and do it now. I really hope y'all feel me on this. And if you do, go ahead and like the video. It's a free way to support the channel. Talk to you soon.